Hey everybody, it's Meredith with Tiger Lily Resources, and I wanted to give an update. I know several people know that we were just out this past weekend again with our extraction team looking for our lost mama that we have been going out now for a few weeks looking. And every time we go out, we get a new discovery, we get closer to her. The once large, gigantic area is now coming closer and closer and closer to finding her. So this weekend we went out. We didn't find her. This weekend we didn't see her this time. It was really a different kind of scenario this weekend than it was the last time we went out. But we're going into areas that most people would think we were absolutely crazy going into. It's places that people totally avoid going into because you just don't go there. Bad things happen there. Well, they do. And sometimes people get caught up in those bad things. And if nobody will go in and get them, they're going to be stuck there. So we know that our mama, she's in that area, but we know in the depths of our spirit and our souls that that's not a place that she is choosing to be. And just from being down there and watching the dynamics of the area and seeing the other girls that are working down there, aka prostitutes, we are seeing patterns of, some of the girls are down there and they look like they're on their own. Other girls are down there and their pimp is right next to them, nudging them out into the street, telling them to get in front of the cars and shake their stuff and work their money makers. And it's just vile. And so, we know that she's not choosing to do this at all. I mean, it probably did walk into this situation with a person that she knew, but we kind of feel like she's been passed off, and it's ugly. And we're going to be reaching back out to law enforcement. We started talking with the detective that was initially working this case, and he was really, really helpful, very awesome person to talk to. But he was honest. He said that she's an adult and they had seen surveillance footage of her that she was walking freely and didn't seem to be in imminent danger, threat of death, or anything like that. So there wasn't really anything more that they could do. Their time of being on the street looking for her had come to an end. And that's just what they had to do. Now, he said that if we wanted to pick up where they left off, more than welcome to. So we said yes, we do. And it's just been just amazing what we have found and learned and watched. And we're getting closer. We've been talking to people in the community, different business owners, and they've seen her. We had There was a visual of her last weekend, but it was not an opportunity to approach her. She was with a group. It was like four other guys, and then I didn't see her. Somebody else had seen her. So there was a group of guys and several other girls that were there, and he referred to it as they were babysitting them and herding them like cattle, and just it was probably 4 o'clock in the morning when they saw her, and she looked really tired. And he said the other girls, you could tell they were really, really strung out, really high because they had, bouncing around a lot of energy. And he said that she just looked a little tired. Maybe she wasn't high at that time. Maybe she was coming down. Who knows? But it was 4 o'clock in the morning. Who knows what her night had been like? So we're still avidly looking for her, and we are totally believing that the Lord is completely so in this, and he sends protection every time we go to look for her, and he opens doors and he shines light, and he's bringing us to her. But what's really incredible is what he's doing in the background. So we're not just going out after this missing mom. It's opening our eyes to the just disgusting atmospheres that are in our city. A misconception, misinformation, miseducation of what is really happening. And it's heartbreaking to see these girls down there We were driving down the street when we were like casing the area and just trying to figure out, when we were learning like what her patterns were and where she walks at, where she stays at, how, what time of the day she goes. But we were driving through the area, and we went down the stroll, and there's some older women that are down there, so they've probably been doing this for years. It's probably all they know. So those are like lifers. Those women will probably never ever leave it. It's probably generational for them. But there's other girls that were down there that were younger, younger black girls, younger white girls, all different nationalities. But there was two girls in particular that just really keep repeating in my head, and they were probably in their 20s, young 20s. And we were crossing the street one night in the car, so we're not walking, but crossing the street to get to where they were working at. And I could see this beautiful younger black girl that she was standing on her post, on her corner. And we were crossing the street. A car came past us to kind of block our view of her for just a split second. And there was a car approaching her, a minivan approaching her. And in the time that car blocked our view from her, I saw her 1 second, and then she was in the car and gone the next second. So she was turning her next client. And so we drive down the street a little further, and there's this younger white girl who was so disgustingly high. Like, just, she probably didn't know what was up or down. She definitely has. She's so numb to what she's doing. And we drove by, and I looked at her. We made eye contact. And, here we are looking for our lost mom. And what just broke in my heart was, who's looking for these girls? Is anybody looking for these girls? Or does everybody have the notion of, well, poor life choices? Why are they doing that? They should know better. Why don't they just leave? And guys, what you don't understand, and these girls can't leave, even if they're just walking around by themselves, even if they look like they are free to do what they want, they are not. They are watched. This is typically the girls that are prostituted down there. They're property of gangs. They're not their property, but that's how they look at it. They don't belong to them. So it's just amazing what the Lord is bringing us into. Never in a million years would I've thought that this is where we were going with this, but holy cow, what He's opened our eyes up to is just vile. And no, it's not right. So we're learning a lot. But yeah, these girls, they're always being watched. Even when they go out with a client, there is somebody watching all over on different corners, sitting in cars. They watch them all night long. If they're walking around go to the store, they might walk into the store by themselves, but somebody is watching them. These guys are good, not in a good way. They're slick. They're very controlling, very manipulating, and these girls are not their property. So I'm going to be very real. I mean, what we're embarking on is, there was a word spoke over us at church on last Tuesday night, and the word was that this is bigger than you think it is. And I didn't take that as the problem is bigger than you think it is. And we know it's huge. How I received that was, our work is bigger than we think it is. What we are going to be walking into it's war zone, really. So we're building a team of people who can carry out the work that needs to be carried out. And we're looking for those that are not being looked for. We reach out to these girls, and some of them, one of the guys that went down spoke to a couple of these other girls that were working, and they actually, they were like, well, one girl didn't have a place to stay. Like, the next night she was being kicked out of whatever guy she was staying with, he was kicking her out of the house. And she was like, well, I don't have any place to go. And she was clearly high. These girls aren't doing this sober. You can't do it sober. But she didn't have a place to stay. And the guy that talked to her was like, hey, I have a girl that can help you. And her response was, well, I don't know if I'm really ready to quit yet. I just need a place to stay. And that's fear. That's not saying I choose to not leave this. That's just fear of what could come, what's the unknown. There's so much level of no trust and always expecting the worst. So when they know what they can anticipate, they understand what their day-to-day life is there, it's scary to get out of it. So just an opportunity to create a trust relationship is so important. And so that's what we're working on right now. But also, at my church, we have been really praying for a long time for the Lord to do a thing in our city, because our city is broken. It's dark. It's dangerous. Ooh, people are killing each other. It's just a lot of brokenness, brokenheartedness, and the Lord is doing a thing. I can say that because of what we're doing right now. We said yes to his call. So when he calls us into a place, we go knowing that he's already there, knowing that he's not calling us into a place and then going to let us not be protected by his word, by his presence. So the Lord, I really feel like with the prayers that we've been doing at church, I feel like the Lord has been waiting to hear those prayers because he's been waiting for a people to want to make a change. So he's been ready. He's just been waiting on us. So we've been praying those prayers of, Lord, breakthrough in our city, bring your presence and your light and your love into our city and change things in ways that only you can. And he's doing that now. I mean, we're living proof that things are happening, things are changing. It's definitely in his time, not in our time, and we just have to understand that and be obedient to what he's calling us to do. But he's doing something, and I'm excited to be a part of it. I'm honored that he trusts me, and now the people that he's calling into this, that he trusts us to do this. It's a radical choice to do this. Like, most people don't want to. It's too much work. It's too hard. It's too dangerous. It's too whatever. When we were out Saturday night, had a discussion, and it was just amazing how, the fear that can inset people when they don't know who the Lord is. I was driving with a gentleman, and he does know God, but he doesn't know God. He doesn't know his true love and his true depth of his presence and his protection, and how he gives if you ask, and he's there when you need him. And we were just having the talks, and he was having all these what ifs, what if this, and what if that, and what if she doesn't want to come, and what. I was like, we can't focus on that. We have to go with the notion that the Lord called us here, and he's going to make it happen. If you go in expecting it not to happen, then don't go. What's the point of that? You've already lost before you even got in there. You better go in expecting. Every time we go out expecting that we're going to find her. And even though we haven't found her yet, we find new things every time we go down there that either lead us to her or lead us to a deeper discovery of the work that we're doing. In the face of trafficking here in St. Louis, it's horrible. It's ugly. Ugly. So I'm going to put out an ask right now because, the Lord says you have not because you ask not. And I'm going to ask right now. We are in such a deep, deep growth moment right now. And it takes finances to be able to do this, and we've gotten little pops here and there that just kind of keep us nose above the water, but we have expenses every month. We've got expenses. We've got our new center that is awesome, and it allows us to engage better with the community and educate them on what we're doing, but also invite people in and be a part of the work that we're doing. And it's just an awesome environment, but there's bills that go along with that. There's rent, there's insurance, there's electric, there's just office things. We definitely stay within our means of operations, but it does cost us. So we are really looking for people who can come behind us as monthly supporters. So if we know that we can cover the monthly expenses, then we are free to reach higher than that, and then go out and work with these women and the people in the community, the men too. We've got a lot that we're doing, and we'll explain more as it starts developing. But like the word said that was spoken over us, this is bigger than we think it is. So we desperately need your support in in this work. Our friends and supporters in the community, please don't be afraid or cautious to come alongside of us, because we are working. I don't take a break every day. I am doing this every day. I am thinking of something all day, every day. This is my life, and there's other lives that are at stake, and their lives are precious and priceless. So we need your help. It takes a minimum, almost $1,000 a month to run our center, which is not a lot of money. I mean, my goodness, it's only to have all of our expenses paid. It's just under $1,000. That's awesome. So if we can encourage you guys to please come alongside of us and help us achieve this, there's lives that are at stake here. There's lives that need to be saved, and there's communities that are just broken and hurting. And we're building the army to come together and just love them. I was praying, I said, Lord, how do you love people who don't know love? And I opened up my Bible, and, I posted it the other day, if any of you are lacking wisdom, ask the Lord and he will give it to you freely. I opened up my Bible, and I just randomly opened it up to Song of Songs, and that is the book of love. So I was reading through it, and it was just all about how to love them. And it was simple, just simple. I mean, he keeps giving me this instruction over and over and over again. When I ask him, Lord, what do we do? How do we do this? And I overthink what we're supposed to do. And he just keeps saying to me, just love them. Just love them. So that's what we're doing. But we need your help, friends. Please, we need your help. We need your financial support. $10 a month from you would make such a huge difference. And if we could get 100 of you to do $10 a month, then that covers all of our expenses for the month, and we can just breathe easy, get more creative, get more focused on the work that we're doing instead of hustling so hard to just raise the funds to keep us floating. I promise you, we are not slacking at all. This is such deep work. So, all right, the video is getting long. I think I've covered all the updates right now. But if you could jump onto our website, I'll put the link here as well. But our website is tigerlilyresources.org. It's TIGERLILI resources.org, and click on any Givelify link. It gives you the option if you want to do a one-time give or if you want to do a monthly give, but you can do $10, $30, $50, $100, whatever you want to give. It will help us tremendously, and we are in a dire moment right now to just cover our basic expenses so we could keep this afloat. So thank you all so much for watching this video. I tried to keep it short, but there was a lot to say, and I'm very passionate about it. So thank you so much for your love and support. Thank you for watching this, and thank you for offering your time, your energy, your effort, your prayers, and your finances. Thank you. From Meredith, signing off. Have a beautiful week.